Hi there. Hello, this is Henry Sifu Slim Kreuter, and I am talking to you today about what do people want. One of the things I know they want is to feel good. And I talk a lot about in my research, in my writing, in my speaking, and my coaching, the mind, body, and spirit connection and how to be balanced. Yoga is a union that tries to incorporate mind, body, and spirit. Then you can add on things like intellectual stimulation, athletics, a hug. There's all kinds of things you can add on, awareness about where you are in this world and where the world's going. So today I wanted to bring in some people and ask them what they want out of life and what resources they may have out there to get to that place they want to go. So I'm going to bring in Mr. Jihad here. Come on in.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
So you've been an actor and a student, and you're in a country that is foreign to where you were born. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what you want.
What I'm doing and what I want. Wow, this is it's not a complicated question. Actually, it's very simple, but the answer is maybe a bit philosophic. What? Sorry, what was the question? What? Why I'm here and what I want.
Yeah, what are you doing right now and what do you want?
What I'm doing right now, I think I'm learning more about myself because I'm in a situation now here. I'm still waiting for some things to be fixed in my life that I can keep going, like legal stuff, like paper and so on. Like the whole thing with the
residence in a
exactly,
foreign country.
such things.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, exactly. And I already know what I want to do later on. I know what I want to do next. But I think now I'm trying maybe to learn more about myself.
Got it.
And to know what's my strong point and weak points and so on.
Okay, so real quick, because we're going to go quick, we're not going to do a long 2-hour discussion, but I've studied martial arts for a long time, and we have belts, as you know, and you get to a black belt, and that's being a person who's mastered a good part of the martial arts, and then you can keep going and be a first degree, second degree, and keep going. I ask people about the idea of a black belt in life. What would that mean, and would you want a black belt in life?
What exactly that means, actually, black belt in life?
That's for you to consider, because mastery of a martial art means you've mastered a certain body of knowledge and technique and awareness, etc. And so now you have a black belt in life.
I know what you mean exactly. Now the karate, you mean the thing with this, like okay. I think maybe I don't know if I have let's call it limit, for example, or like what's the meaning of Grenze of Dutch of English borders? Yeah, maybe borders. Let's call it like this. I don't have a border for my dream. I want, just like as I said, I want first to fix my things with the papers and so on, and I want to keep going in. Actually, I have two choices, or like two ideas. Either I would like to study social worker, to work with kids and young people, or I want to go in the direction of food and cooking because I like this too.
Do you still want to, do you consider acting a passion?
Of course.
Do you want to continue that?
For sure.
Got it. Okay. So if you had a program where you could attend a group meeting once a week on a day that worked in your schedule, that could help you develop some of those things you want to work on, and also give you some opportunities to learn things you've never even considered before, is that something that you might want to do?
For sure.
You would.
I would like to exchange with people. I would teach, maybe I don't like to call it teach them, just give them something of what I lived and my experiences in life, or my ideas, or my let's say philosophy, and also learn from other people. It's like exchange ideas,
a collaborative exchange.
Sure.
With other people and varied mindsets, and they get to hear your story, you get to hear theirs, and you can ask questions, and it's a very therapeutic way to go. It's a very great way to learn. It's a great pastime. Why not? So
it helps us also to understand each other, because the only way to understand other human beings is just talk to them.
Great.
To know what they lived, how they lived, to know let's say, to know everything. Sorry, I'm talking a lot now. I experienced this with my theater play when I wrote it and I played, and I thought the best way is to get rid of the past, maybe, or the pain, or I don't know, whatever. It's as you said, it's therapy.
Very
it's just to tell the story, you know.
Yeah. Now, do you watch YouTube?
Not all the time.
Occasionally.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes. Have you seen a speaker, a presenter, an interview of somebody that fascinated you?
Yes.
What if you could go to an event here in Vienna, for example, and see a speaker live, and this person would also fascinate you? Would that be something you'd like to do?
For sure, this will be cool.
And maybe ask a question during the presentation, and maybe meet the person afterwards and have a quieter interlude with this person.
Yes, this will be cool.
That would be cool.
For sure.
That's what I'm working on. So I'm going to bring Virna
nice.
in here now.
Okay.
Mr. Jihad.
Thank you.
Good to see you, brother. So we brought the young male in, and now we have the young female. And I know Virna for about a year now, and I see her with one master's degree and now pursuing another master's degree, and also learning a lot about life in a foreign city and experiencing wonderful things. What is it that you're currently doing?
Currently studying, working, and doing 2 side projects.
And trying to be a human being at the same time.
Yeah, trying to be social, maybe date people, and maybe figure out life.
Figure out life. And what is it that you think you want currently?
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, stability,
consistency. Okay. Those are all good things. And once you have them, what will you do with some of your extra free time?
Extra free time. That's like extra free time. That's more than free time. I don't know. I think that maybe in Corona times, I experienced this distance from people and from exchange and touch in person. And maybe in this time, I also, as you mentioned, YouTube and seeking for advice through some other channels. And I think we are all socially deprived. Like, we need this in order to grow.
It's a stimulus. It's a natural human emotion and connection. And that's what we want as part of the tribe. We want to see the people in the tribe. We also want to meet the people in the other tribes. And we want to move around and be communal with these people.
And outgrow or grow at all, and just not compare each other, but just to see how others do.
Yeah.
And see the examples and figure out for ourselves, is that something that I like?
So another thing that I thought about in terms of having events that are open to the public is you have somebody from one organization and somebody from another organization. So instead of just going to meetings with people at your organization or company, you get to go to a meeting here, and then you meet people from the other company, related type industry. And so you get to have that interchange. And this goes back to what Steve Jobs did at the Apple headquarters. It was a gigantic place. It still is, but this was in the 1990s. He said, I want these different departments to connect with each other, and they're not currently doing it. How are we going to do that? So when he designed it, he put each side of the building, and he put the restrooms, the toilets, in the middle, so that people had to walk a distance to get there. It could take them 2 or 3 minutes, and they would get there and they would meet other people, and then maybe they would go have a little side meeting and communicate with this person. It was a forced way to meet people. You're meeting people on the walk, and you're meeting people near the restroom and then at the break rooms. And it's a great way to force interaction between other people to company.
To provide a neutral ground where people can meet.
Sharing information.
Yeah.
Sharing your thoughts. This is a wonderful way to go. So what I was suggesting, that one of the things I was suggesting that a group does is provide things as an ongoing resource to people who want to experience things, learning things, enjoyment, stimulation, interaction, debate, rhetoric, listening to speakers, all these wonderful things, and have it as a lifetime opportunity. But it's also taken seriously. Yes, you're being entertained, but you want to bring your best self to this meeting, your open-minded, open-hearted self to such a meeting. And that way, this 1 hour, 2 hour event, maybe at a convenient time for you after work, would be something that you would really appreciate going to. And then maybe you'd even want to prepare something and share your expertise at such a venue. So we've had things like TED Talks. It has its limitations because they're short presentations. There's no audience interaction. And I think they're actually too prepared. It's almost like watching someone recite something on on the stage. We have other types of presentations. So there are many things out there, but my thought is that you take some of the best things of education, and then you take the best things from speaking on YouTube, and you bring it to an event, and you get both. You get a presentation that's in person and also goes to YouTube, Spotify, and the other places where you can display that. What do you think of that idea?
It could work actually because of this social moment where we need how to say, like, mindful social meetup, not only to meet up in order to fulfill this checkbox on your list. I'm social. I mean, it's like you have this triangle: social, I don't know, academical success, and then love life, and then you need to choose, and these kind of memes that we have on social media. And then I think what's something that I need as somebody who is now end of my 20s, approaching my 30s, is to meet people social but meaningful. As when I was a child, there were like two different meetups. I meet a friend and we just sit around and have fun. But there were also meetups who are active when you go to the park, where you play some games. And I think as a grown-up, we forgot about these kind of play dates.
Yes.
And I think these kind of play dates are something that we need in our late 20s, 30s, and so on. And where we also have this age exchange, gender exchange, life stages exchange, because I can, in my late 20s, I can learn something from somebody who is in his 50s or 60s. And I think it's a nice idea.
Yeah, I was thinking today, I was making applesauce in the kitchen. And so I could make Apfelstrudel the next time. And I was thinking about an article I wrote about 15 years ago, and it's called Grandma Sweeping. And I was in Aix-en-Provence, France, and I saw the grandmother who was just able to walk. She couldn't go for a run. She was very, very ancient person. And she was at the restaurant that she used to own and run for 45 years. That's now her kids who are doing it. And she's out there sweeping the walk and sweeping the patio at this restaurant. I wrote an article about her called Grandma Sweeping. And I think it's good for grandma to still be active, not just physically, but feel part of something. So that's that restaurant that she built and grew, and now her kids are there, but she's still part of it, and she's still appreciated, and she's also showing that she cares about how her kids do. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I thought about as I was making my applesauce today, what would be better for us when we're grandma and grandpa? Would it be just watching television and YouTube, or would it be actually engaging with people and moving our bodies and doing things that are more tactile, more touch, and more interaction? So you're at a meeting, or you're playing pétanque or boule or bocce, and they say, even ping pong. I mean, ping pong, if you're old, you can still play a little bit of ping pong because you can move this and play with someone that's not going to make you run too much. So there's lots of things we can do to keep our mind going. And here's a little thing that I learned. You want to share anything about the aging process before I share one more thing?
Aging, because I'm so aged.
Well, you have parents who are doctors, so you know about all the patients and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's a combination or a composition of mind and body, and that we are sometimes faster old in our mind and soul than we realize that our body is listening to our mind. So when I think every day that I'm getting older, then my body's like, hey, why am I running then when she's old? Let me settle down and watch some TV. So I think in order to work out our brains, we need to start socializing and motivating ourselves to be more active. And I think this energy flow comes from other people, other human beings.
What's one of the best things you can do there's two things that you should do when you're tired?
when I'm tired. I think we had that last year in our talk.
See if you remember.
I think for me, what I learned from my body, and I will share, when I'm tired, the opposite is always better to do, because my body or my mind tells me to lay down, to sleep, or to read, or to watch something. But I think the better way is to go out and move.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a workout plan, gym session, blah blah. It just needs to be go out and do something diametrically different what you did for the first part of your day.
Yes, I agree with that. So the answer to my question was, if you need that energy to keep going with your day, movement is the first thing you do, not reaching for a coffee. I'll just give you one little wellness tip. Coffee does not wake you up. What it does is it turns off the sensor of the thing that tells you you're asleep. So it just is telling your brain something different. It didn't give you energy. It just makes you think that you have more energy, but it's a Band-Aid for the problem. I would rather not have you do flavored water with caffeine. I would rather have you do movement, or get a massage, or go relax, or go to sleep for a while, take a break. I take a siesta every day. And that's why at 82, I still feel pretty good. Almost got you on that one, didn't I?
I'm like, okay.
So no, but the nap a day is really good. So it's late. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm feeling rested. I'm feeling connected. I'm feeling very peaceful. But I can keep going. Have some work I have to do after this, and so tonight I'm going to use that energy because I had a 2-hour and 6-minute nap. And the reason I know that is because I have a waterfall cascade that I downloaded from YouTube that I use to drown out the noise, so that I don't hear people doing anything. So
yeah, the flatmates appreciate it.
So those are some things that I'm open to sharing. Some of these things, the Black Belt of Life program, so mind, body, and spirit, intellectual stimulation, enjoyment, collaboration with other people, and having you excited about going to see a speaker, going to listen to a workshop, or sharing your own workshop. I think all these things are wonderful. And if they're convenient, like in the center of Wien, what a great thing. And if this caught on, it could be a program that's offered in many places around the world, and it gives authors a place to come and present their books. It gives artists a chance to come and present their experience of being an artist, and actors and intellectuals and professors and researchers and solar energy, sustainable people, all kinds of good stuff. What do you think?
I think that could work out. I think that could be a good idea. We need a starting point and we need a crowd, but everything starts with a small group. So I think all big actions in the world start with an enthusiastic, active citizen who approaches others. So
put your hand there. Put your other hand there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got it. Aloha. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.